For example, because I have a statistics of what you guys did on certain questions, so I can see which question has made the most mistakes. For example, number 6 talks about those superstore, the chain, the Willow B, whatever the name is. So they have a product of thousands of suppliers who have the limited product differentiation, right? The product stored at those superstores are also available at the smaller convenience store with a slightly different price. So, so what kind of these competitive forces that we can say about this? So that's I think one of the questions you guys missed most, and I think many of you guys show as a threat of substitution, but it's not really substitution because it's existing both places, right? And customers can purchase same product from the other store. So eventually customers have a kind of power or pressure to the stores and whatever the chain, the big chain, on the price. Not only the price, it can give us kind of indirect pressure on service, convenience. So it can be creating some competitive advantage for the customers. Right? So it's not only substitution, but there are other things that you can do with customers' power. So it's not really direct question, but it's more like more of a abstract reasoning, right? You can just draw some conclusion from the situation. So that's a one. I think the question number 6, more like it. Any particular questions? Anybody?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
I think I have a few things I just need to review, I think, but.
All right. Okay. All right. So if you have anything comes up, let me know.
Will do.
Yeah. And in terms of macros, Excel macros, the reason we are doing macros, there's kind of advanced Excel, and the popularity or the application of Excel macro is not like it used to be, like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, because of we have seen the latest technology, but still many places they still have all these macros installed on their machines, okay, because it's cheaper and because they have been doing many years, right? So I think you've seen this macro basically work back, kind of a background of what you have doing in your office places or many places. It's still working, and that's why we are doing it. And one way to do is you can generate, just like a programming language, you can do it from the scratch. The other way is what we are doing, rather than creating from the scratch line by line, we go to Excel, then use the option that we can use under developer. So developer will have this macro install. So by going through macro in Excel, in this developer Excel, then you can basically create those lines without just typing in. You just record whatever you're doing, then Excel record all those into actions into the all those codes, so that you can generate like I don't know how many 100, 200, 300, and could be thousands line of code, so that you can reuse it for other purposes as well. So that's what we are doing. We're trying to kind of create this Excel from user interface rather than from the scratch. And that's why I have this list of things that you can do with Excel. So well, we have so many steps that you need to go through. And I think macro 1 is pretty straightforward because this conversion from Fahrenheit to Celsius by applying this simple formula. And once you apply this macro, it'll convert from this Fahrenheit temperature to the Celsius, which will give it to the, I think the number 4 or number 5 column on the sheets. But macro 2, let me open up just a second. All right, here we go. There you go. So this is the data file. So we need to work on this. So what you're going to do is you go to developer, assuming you have a macro installed already, then go to macro area. Then you're going to click macro, record macro, and go through those steps. But before we do that, unlike macro 1, we need to establish some of other stuff, other user interface, like buttons and drop down. So that's what we have, like I don't know how many steps, 20, 25 different steps you need to go. One example is you're going to create a drop-down menu for events. So basically what this is, the school events for the kids. So they have some events and they give you some for different grades, whether you're grading 7, 8, 9, whatever. And they're giving out shirts. So you have shirt size can be selected from small, medium, large. And so we have about 3 or 4 different area or cell have a drop-down menu that we need to create. And I think the same thing here, we're going to create a drop-down. Okay, so that's kind of input area, what we call. So whatever user select input from here, it'll reflect to the output area or receipt area. Okay, this area will be copied from whatever user selects from above. So that's what this macro will do basically. Okay, and let me see. I think I have other stuff that I can show you. So this is the almost, I think it's almost final product. Here we go. So you enter the date, then put use name, your kid's name, assuming you are, parent or guardian. Then event you're going to select from drop down, 3 different events. Then grades, so G1 through G5. Then we have, oops, I didn't mean to. Then shirt size, extra small up to extra large. So those, how many? 1, 2, 3. Those 3 cells have a drop down. Then others, so basically you enter like your name, guardian's name, address, phone number and all that. Okay. And that one you don't have to select because that basically this shirt size is referred from this area. So we don't have to worry about that one. And the price as an input. Okay, so whatever you select here, for example, one of those events will take those price from this table. Okay, so that's what's going to happen here. Then as you can see, whatever you enter from above, it'll move or it'll print to this receipt area. Okay, so that's basically copy from above. If you look at the cell reference, so it's from the Guardian, which is B8, and same thing, city, state, or street address. So they're basically copied over from other areas so that you can make a print for the receipt. Okay. So that's basically what you're going to do. You're going to prepare those, all those input using drop down or buttons. Then eventually you're going to create so that's the first step. So second step is you're creating macro. So macro will execute something, something you can do it automatically, like a printing, like a transfer data, not from here to receipt, but from this input to the next or other pages right here. So that's basically recording whatever you have your customers record here so that you can keep up with all those records. So that's the purpose of this registration data set. Okay. So we have two buttons. So that will work with macros you're going to create. But actually, this exercise should contain at least two different macros, I believe, so that you can attach those macros to those each of these buttons. Okay, so that's kind of how this macro exercise works. As you can see, it's pretty, pretty convenient. Assuming you have so much data, then you rather just use the macro so that you can do all those things just by clicking buttons or, quick drop downs. So to establish all these macros, that's why you need to go those 20, 30 different steps to, to the area given in terms of this input cells. So any questions about this macro?
No questions here.
Okay, all right. So as you can see, because we have two buttons, each of them attach to one of macro. So if you click print, this will generate PDF file. So let's take a look at where it's going to go. Okay. PDF. I'm going to click edit and see what kind of codes they generated. Let's see how to make it bigger here. Let's see. Format. There you go. Top format. We have a zoom in or something. There's no zoom in. Well, anyway, let's take a look. Even though it's kind of small. So there's a PDF. So PDF goes to right here. Okay. So you can assign there. So after generating this macro, right? If you kind of lost where your PDF goes, then you come to this Visual Basic editing, then you see the line for the folder to be created or PDF to be created. Just look at that and see those folder path, and you can edit if you wish. Okay, so it doesn't have to go to folder you don't know or you don't want to be. So that's where you can kind of edit right here. That's the folder so that you can fix. So that's the PDF file. Then transfer the data to the third worksheet that I showed you. It's pretty short. That one don't have to change anything. But so as you can see, that's the line of code generated by Excel. Once you go through those different steps. So by the standard of macro, it's not that bad because it could be sometimes hundreds of thousands of, lines can be generated. But again, that's under developer, macro, and you can click edit so that you can see those codes line by line. Right? Any questions? No questions?
None here.
All right. So, anything comes up, let me know. All right. And let's see. I think it's next week. So we'll see you next time, okay?